Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Beyond Science 2. It's Mike Chin.
It's Dan Chen.
We are talking about flying today because we fly a lot. I mean, a lot of people fly a lot around the world.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, flying is one of those things that, if you think about it, it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you're literally soaring through the clouds in a metal tube going 600 miles an hour.
Yeah, 20, 30,000 feet
Yeah.
above the planet.
And the whole plane, like, really, they need you to keep calm.
Yeah, exactly.
So, of course, like, when things happen, if they're not too big,
right.
they're not going to tell you, I think.
All right, so after this list, guys, you might be feeling what I'm feeling right now, which is like, I'm kind of afraid to fly now. I've never been afraid to fly. In fact, I've always enjoyed the whole experience. And we fly a lot. At least you fly a lot. I fly like 4 times a year, right? I'm like, because I'm thinking about these things now in the back of my mind. So we're gonna tell you things that we found that you may not know, even if you are a seasoned traveler. We're seasoned travelers. I did not know a lot of these things, nor did I even think about these things.
Right, so here are some things that your pilot is not telling you.
Yeah, so let me ask you, are you afraid of turbulence?
No.
You're not?
No.
Okay, so maybe you know something I don't. Why
Well, I'm not afraid of turbulence because, first of all, they don't last for a long time.
Okay.
Secondly, you put on seatbelt. I mean, look, it depends on how violent the turbulence is. I've never been in intense violence.
Yeah.
You bet?
Yeah? Oh yeah. I'm shaking, bro. I'm scared. I was just saying, the plane almost will never crash because of turbulence. It's just uncomfortable, okay? However, there is a thing called like an updraft, which is basically like hitting like a wall of air. So it's kind of like hitting a massive speed bump in a plane going 500 miles an hour, where you kind of stop and everything like shakes. Now, they're not saying that that's going to bring the plane down, but they're more afraid of that than turbulence, because turbulence you can foresee. No one can predict these updrafts.
Yeah, that's why I guess people hurt themselves when all of a sudden they go flying. That's why you got to keep your seatbelt on the whole time. I do keep my seatbelt on no matter what.
I don't keep my seatbelt on.
Well, then you're asking for it. You're asking for it. Like we said, you're literally in a tube in the air. If the tube shakes, you're falling around, man.
When the tube shakes, I put my seatbelt on.
When the tube shakes, you're already flying out of your seat.
No, but see, here's the thing. They warn you of turbulence.
No, what if that's one of those things they can't predict?
Now here's another thing, right? You always hear them say, oh, fasten your seatbelts, we're gonna experience turbulence, right? And so you're like, okay, whatever. But then I noticed that one time they say, flight attendants, sit down and buckle your seatbelts. They didn't say prepare for turbulence. I was like, why are they sitting down? And I got really scared. So they're basically saying, yeah, if it's gonna be really rough, we're not gonna say, guys, it's gonna be really rough, but they're gonna indicate it by saying, the crew, now it's time to sit down and buckle. So if you hear that, oh, you're in for some turbulence, basically.
Right. Well, the next thing we want to tell you that the pilot isn't telling you is that you've probably been in a plane that was struck by lightning.
That's it, man. I'm not flying, dude. I'm not flying, man.
It's fine. Planes are built to ward off that. I mean, to withstand that. It's okay.
I mean, yeah, but what if it hits your engine?
Nothing. When have you ever heard of a last time a lightning brought down a plane?
I haven't heard it in real life. I don't care, man. Are you kidding me? I've never seen a thunderstorm in a plane. If I saw lightning, I am pooing my pants.
I saw lightning before.
Were you scared?
I flew through a thunderstorm before.
Were you scared?
I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared. You know why I was scared?
Why were you scared?
Because there wasn't that many people on the plane.
Why is that scary?
Because it's scary to me at the time, because logically I felt if there were more people on the plane, there are more important people that their lives are meant to be over. So if it's just a few people, like we might just like die.
Yo, that's the most ridiculous explanation I've ever heard in my life. I'm afraid of lightning, and they're telling me right now that planes have gotten struck and nothing happens. I'm scared now. I'm scared.
Well, they say, more likely than not, your plane has been struck already. You just don't know about it. They don't tell you. It's not like, hey, our plane just got struck by lightning.
Another one is too, airline pilots are always tired, they're always overworked, and they're always exhausted. Don't tell me that. That's something I don't want to know.
Well, isn't everything an autopilot?
Okay, that brings us to another point. Okay, first, the fact that they're always exhausted, I don't like that. I mean, it kind of goes against you're flying a plane. Don't you want your pilots to be not exhausted? but yet they're always exhausted. All right, here's one that also really scared me. Pilots admit that they're always flying with less, they're always encouraged or discouraged to take more fuel. So they're always afraid like they're gonna run out. They're not afraid they're gonna run out of fuel, but they're always like being pressured to take less fuel than they're comfortable with. That scares the crap out of me.
Well,
I mean, look, we've ridden plane all the time. It's not often that the plane goes, you know, there's a problem with the fuel, but if the pilot's like, I'm not comfortable taking this little, you know, I want the full tank, you want me to have 65%, I'm not cool with that, you know, and I only need, say, 55%, I don't like that. I want them to take, hey, I paid for the flight, I want as much fuel on that plane as possible, you know.
Yeah, so I think that really would be a problem if you're flying across the ocean.
Yeah.
But like if you're flying across land, like in like the US where there's an airport every 50 miles, then I feel like that's less of an issue because they're not gonna like run out of fuel. They're gonna land somewhere.
But when they say they're not comfortable, I don't like that. I want them to be not tired.
No, that's true. That's true.
I want them to be comfortable.
The profitability margin and the I guess the focus on making money on in airlines, of course, I feel like often outweighs even the safety of the passengers.
Oh, absolutely. Also, here's another. There's no such thing as a water landing. It's called crashing into the ocean. I didn't know. I'll tell you right now. I was one of those suckers that are fooled when I read.
They thought there was a water landing? They were like, in case there's a water, in the unlikely case there's a water landing.
That's what they say. That's what the media says.
You know what? When, besides Sully, when was the last time you heard of a plane landing in water and everyone's just getting out?
I don't know. Never. I don't know. Never. Because if you remember, around the same year, there was insane footage of a plane crashing into a highway into the water in Taiwan. I don't know if you remember that, but it was caught on camera. I mean, that thing wasn't water landing. It was crashing into the ocean.
No, planes are not. If they were meant to be, you know what planes have water landings? Those one with the skis on.
Yeah, like
not a jet, not a commercial jet.
But dude, I was fooled by that, man. I was fooled by that water landings.
Okay, this one scares me.
Yeah.
In case an engine fails on a plane.
Yeah.
They'll never tell you that.
Yeah.
What they'll say instead is one of our engines is indicating improperly.
I know this now, kind of like more concrete, but when I was riding the planes, right, I always have these doubts in the back of my mind because, you know, anytime they say the words maintenance issue, I'm thinking the worst. I'm like, oh man, dude,
no.
Maintenance issue, really?
That's usually not that bad.
Really?
Yeah.
For
me, at least, the few times I've been on planes with maintenance issues, it's usually the door or something dumb like that.
Or it could be something really bad.
Yeah,
they're saying,
you know, like even if they can't get one of those overbend doors closed, it's a maintenance issue.
No, I understand that. Yeah. I understand that. But by this respect, if it's a big deal, they will always dumb it down because they don't want you to. I mean, dude, your engine blows out.
But you should be happy if they say maintenance issue and the issue is the engine because then they caught it. Right. You should be afraid they didn't catch it and you're flying over the ocean. Right. And then there's a maintenance issue with the engine.
Well, I'm thinking to myself, do I just want them to tell me what it is? Like, I don't want them to sugarcoat it. If it's an engine issue,
I don't want to tell me.
You don't want to tell me.
I want to die without knowing anything.
I think I want to know.
I don't want to know.
If there's a serious problem, they should be like, folks, our flaps aren't working.
No, I don't want to know anything. If you're gonna kill me, just kill me. Don't tell me. Give me. I want them to. It's like a nurse giving you a shot, right? Yeah. They're like, it's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt. Then they give you a shot. It hurts like crap. So I don't want to know. Sure. Well, something else they're not telling you.
Yeah.
Well, folks, the visibility is out there is 0. They'll never say that. No. Instead, they'll say there's some fog in the area. That means they can't see anything. They can't see Jack. They can't see Jack's cousin Jill. Can't see anything.
Yeah, lightning hits. They're like, oh, we got a bit of rocky turbulence and there's a flash in the sky. Nope, your plane just got zapped by a 1 trillion volt lightning strike.
So,
all right, guys, and of course, the most morbid one is you never want this to happen, of course, but in case of there is an accident on the airplane, there really is no safe place to sit.
You're in a tube, flying in the air. You're all going to perish.
But you always hear these I don't know what it is. You always hear people go, oh, pick that seat, it's a safe place.
No,
but you hear that though.
Safe. I never hear it.
Really? No, people have their weird things. They're like, I picked this seat because in a case of an emergency, you know what? If something happened, if there's a water landing and you crash into the ocean, you have no idea what part is safe and what's not. It's a complete crapshoot. So just sit on the plane, okay?
Yeah, so, I mean, at least it's fair. being on a plane could be the fairest place in the world where everybody is equal. Because if it's gonna crash, you're all gonna die. Well, anyway, guys, like, I mean, we all fly. We all know it's safer. I mean, it's much safer to fly than drive, obviously.
It is.
Accidents. Yeah. So I still feel pretty good up there, but you know, like, I still do feel really good every time I land.
Yeah, of course. I'm just, I don't know, I'm just gonna, from now on, I'm just gonna go to sleep for the whole plane ride. I'm not gonna, there's too many things now that are going through my head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I was never, I mean, most people will never see any situations because the statistic of someone dying on a plane is like, it's nuts, it's so slim.
Very minuscule. But you know what I'm gonna say to the pilots now? I'm gonna say,
keep awake?
No, but in a nice way. I'm gonna be like, hey, hope you get some rest. Because I don't want you to be tired.
Well, he's going to be like, yeah, I'll get some rest on the plane where you guys are.
No!
Anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts on this list. What are you worried about when you're flying? And are you more worried now since we let you know what they really mean by some of the things they say?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you.
Later.